Hello and a very warm welcome to the highlights of the MENA Golf Tour. This week we head to the capital of the UAE, the ASCORP Golf Citizen Abu Dhabi Open. Located nearly 60 kilometres away from the city centre, Yas Island, developed by Aldar Properties, is a multi-purpose man-made island for leisure and entertainment, where water sport is a favourite among the visitors. Furthermore, it's home to the Middle East's first true links golf course, the Yas Links. Conceived by one of the leading designers, Kyle Phillips, it's a place to experience the unique traditions of the game in its purest form. And its debut on the MENA Golf Tour promised to be a special occasion.
It's a masterpiece really from Kyle. I mean, to create something from nothing, which he's so good at, and it really does look linksy, and it's come about as a links course, and I think that's what's made it quite special. I mean, the challenge is, you know, the bay you see behind you there, that was all dredged out, and obviously it was dredged. A lot of clay was used for the initial shaping, and then mirrored image was on top of that, was from the you know, with the red sand, etc. I mean, obviously one of the big challenges is the water, you know, and keeping enough water and keeping it green, especially in the growing in period when you get in the middle of summer with all the winds that you get during the summer. That was quite a challenge.
The par 72 course stretches to over 7,400 yards. As is the case in links courses, it's a coastal course amid dunes with very few water hazards and hardly a tree on the entire layout. And although exercising the sport the way it was played in its infancy is an exciting prospect, there are challenges to overcome.
Because of the links style and that, I think that it's quite challenging. You get quite a bit of breeze. I mean, it's if you can keep the ball on the fairways and out of the deep rough, you know. I mean, it's all about placing the ball on the fairway, really.
It was a strong field of more than 100 players from 27 different countries pitted against each other for the title at the Yas Links Golf Club. This being the last event in the UAE this year, every player was looking to bring out their respective A games to have the loudest shout at glory. And Luke Joy, who was featuring on his home course, was extremely upbeat ahead of the week.
This year's first time that it's been played at Yas Links. I'm lucky enough to call this sort of my home in Abu Dhabi and be attached to the golf club. It's definitely going to challenge the players. The wind's not too bad now, but it can definitely get up and cause the players some problems. But it's definitely somewhere that is close to my heart, and it's going to be a good week.
Joy announced his arrival on the MENA Golf Tour in 2014, winning 2 of his first 3 tournaments. The English professional has been one of the finest players since and has been a regular in the top 10. Recently he came agonisingly close to lifting 2 titles, losing in playoffs. At the Yas Links, he's hoping to get both hands on the silverware.
It has been tough, obviously 2 playoff losses in 3 weeks. You know, it's a little bit of a hard one to swallow, but in all honesty, I've done a lot of work in this summer back in the UK, working on my game, so I'm seeing signs of good things, good form. And, you know, I've been knocking on the door in the first 3 events, 4 events? Yeah, 3 events. And obviously this week, home course. I don't know whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage being at your home club. I obviously know the course exceptionally well, and hopefully, you know, can keep pushing on and put in a good performance and see where it happens at the end of the week, really.
Joy's start was far from ideal though, a 1-over par 73 in the first round, denting his hopes of glory. His fellow countryman Joe Herity carded a 5-under par 67 to get things underway in style. Andorra's Kevin Esteve matched that score with 6 birdies. But with 5 birdies and an eagle, Craig Hinton sat pretty at the top with a 6-under par 66. day 2, the most decorated player on the MENA Golf Tour, Zane Scotland, smashed a 7-under par 65 to march into contention. And 2 consistent rounds of golf from Lee Caulfield lifted him to second spot. So that's how it stood. Craig Hinton enjoying a 2-shot cushion at the top. Lee Caulfield was in second place. Zane Scotland, by virtue of a scintillating performance in the second round, was in third. We'll take a short breather here. On the other side, we'll showcase the climax at Yas Links Golf Club. Stay with us. Welcome back to the MENA Golf Tour Highlights Show. It's the final round of the ASCORP Golf Citizen Abu Dhabi Open. Scott Campbell started the day well. His chip at the par 5 second led to a birdie for the Englishman. Zane Scotland was having a forgettable outing. After bogeying the second, he dropped another shot at the par 4 third. Lee Caulfield, meanwhile, made merry on the second. This putt from just off the green led to birdie, and that narrowed the gap at the top to 1 shot. Another Englishman, Liam Crawford, missed this par putt by a whisker, and he dropped a shot on the 4th. Italian Rocco Sanget's wonderful approach on the 7th, the longest hole on the front 9, helped him earn a birdie. It helped send him out in 34. Joe Herity, meanwhile, dropped his first shot of the day at the par 4 5th. Herity's fellow Englishman Scott Campbell managed a superb birdie on the long 7th, and he marched into contention as a result. And Campbell continued the good work with this approach on the 9th, and this eventually earned him another birdie, his 4th of the outward half. Caulfield got his act right on the 7th, which was proving something of a birdie magnet for the players in round 3. This effort helped secure him a birdie. So that's how it looked after the leading group finished the 7th hole. Hinton, after birdieing the 6th hole, was ahead by a shot, closely followed by Caulfield and Campbell, an English 1-2-3. We pick up play with Hinton, who won in Johannesburg earlier this year, lining up his tee shot on the 8th. Here's Hinton then on the 2nd shortest hole on the course, only the 13th is shorter. Victory in the Johannesburg City Masters in June, winning by 2 shots on that occasion. And he's left himself an opportunity for birdie, not an easy putt, but it is a chance. Joe Herity now, level par for the day, a birdie at 2 and then a dropped shot at the par 4 5th for him. This is 2nd to 9. And he's on the green. He'll have that putt from distance to give himself the birdie opportunity. Hinton now for birdie. Oh, so close. Wasn't an easy putt, and it was pretty well read, you have to say, because it was going up a tier. He's still 1 under for the day after his birdie at 6. Joe Herity now. That was for birdie. He'll have the tap in for par, which he duly completes, out in 36, and you have to say he needs to put a little bit more pressure on Hinton and the others above him if he's going to be in contention here. Now Caulfield, 2 top 10 finishes this season. Oh dear. First dropped shot of the day for him. That was for par at the 8th. Still 1 under for the day though. Frustration for Lee Caulfield. Craig Hinton now for par at 8. Nicely holed. Solid stuff from Hinton today. 1 under par for his round thus far. And he retains that lead. Spaniard Borja Cabello now. First time on the tour in 3 years for him. This is his 3rd shot at 15. And a very good shot it is too, isn't it? 5 under for the day. 6 birdies and a dropped shot at 12. Looking good. Here's Caulfield now. His 2nd shot at the par 4, 481 yard 9th. And that's a pretty good effort, isn't it? He'll have that for birdie. Liam Crawford at 12. Birdie putt for him. Oh, it was beautifully paced, wasn't it? Just not quite getting the line right. The green surface at 12, shared with 15 in the spirit of the old course at St Andrews. Here's Lee Caulfield now for birdie at 9. Oh, and he's left it short, and he's frustrated as well, isn't he? Little grimace tells the story. He'll have that tap in to go out in 35. And he does so. 1 under par for the day, but he needs to start holing those. Scott Campbell now at 12. This for the joint lead. Oh, yes! He got a birdie at 11. He's now got a birdie at 12. 72 and 67 in the first 2 rounds for Campbell. Now he's out in 32. He's flying. Zane Scotland now at 11. The par 5. This for Eagle. Oh, and it's just stayed up. Scotland recovering from those dropped shots earlier in his round at 2 and 3. Now successive birdies for him with that little tap in. But is it too little too late? Here's Hinton now at 10. His 2nd shot to the par 4. 394 yards this hole. Short dogleg right. And he's given himself a birdie opportunity, hasn't he? Scotland, the 2013 Order of Merit winner. This is 2nd to 12, the par 4. Very nice indeed. Birdie opportunity for Zane Scotland then. Here's Craig Hinton with a birdie chance of his own. The co-leader, remember. Oh yes, he gave it every chance, didn't he? That was a confident putt from Hinton. And he regains the lead, goes ahead of Campbell. Top stuff by Craig Hinton. Zane Scotland now at 12 for birdie. Oh, it's just slid by. Frustration for Scotland. It's been that sort of day for him, really. The man who won the first event on the MENA Golf Tour, the Abu Dhabi Golf Citizen Open Championship in 2011. He remains at 7 under. Lee Caulfield at 10. Par for him, if he gets it, and he does. Still 1 under for the day, and still in contention. So it's still pretty tight at the top. Craig Hinton's still a shot to the good over Scott Campbell. Lee Caulfield is 2 shots behind him, while Borja Cabello and Liam Crawford are tied for 4th. Time for a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the MENA Golf Tour Highlights Show. We're at the Yas Links Golf Club for the ASCORP Golf Citizen Abu Dhabi Open. A great shot out of the bunker from Craig Hinton on the 577-yard par 5 11th led to a birdie and extended his lead to 2 shots. Lee Caulfield had an eagle opportunity on the same hole, but the Englishman could only manage a birdie. Still a fantastic effort and just what he needed to maintain his push. Joe Herity's rescue from the bunker on the 359-yard par 4 14th was an excellent one, and it earned him a birdie. Scott Campbell erred when it mattered. He dropped a shot after this approach at 15, and he was 3 shots off the pace. 15, a par 4 with bunkers at the front and rear of the green. Craig Hinton missed an opportunity to extend his lead at the top at the par 4 12th, that birdie putt just sliding by. But there was a birdie for Zane Scotland at 15, following on from one at 13, and he was on a late charge. That latest birdie lifted him to 4th. Meanwhile, Scott Campbell produced a super putt on the par 3 17th. Nicely holed for birdie, but unfortunately for him, he was still 2 shots behind Hinton. So that's how it stood with the final stretch to go. With a hole to play for Campbell, it seemed Hinton's destiny was in his own hands. But stranger things have happened in golf before, and especially on the MENA Golf Tour. So let's join the action with Campbell lining up his 3rd shot on the final hole. The 18th is 646 yards from the back tee, with water along the left. It's a majestic closing hole, and that's a pretty majestic shot from Scott Campbell, isn't it? Tremendous. That's a birdie opportunity for him. Here's the leader, Craig Hinton, on 16, a stunning hole itself. The green surrounded by water on 3 sides. Awkward lie that though for Hinton. And he's got a little bit lucky, you have to say. In fact, he's got very lucky indeed. Good fortune for Hinton. Fortune favours the brave. Here's Campbell then for his birdie at the last. Nicely holed. 8 birdies and 1 dropped shot today for Campbell. 65, the lowest round of the week. He's the clubhouse leader. 72, 67 and now a 65 for a 3-round total of 204. 12 under. Can Hinton hold his nerve against him? This is Hinton for birdie now at 16. Well, he gave it every opportunity, but it stayed up. Joe Herity now from just off the green. This for birdie at 17. Dropped shot at 15 for him. Oh yes, and a birdie at 17. He's also had a birdie at 14, another birdie at 16. So that's 3 in 4 holes for Joe Herity. Very nice indeed. Here's Craig Hinton then for his par. Oh goodness me. Would you believe it? A 3 putt from Hinton. That's if he holds this one coming back. Well, I never. He knocks it in, and now he shares the lead with Scott Campbell. Bear in mind, of course, he dropped shots at 17 and 18 on day 2 and 18 on day 1. Are the nerves starting to show? Here's Zane Scotland, his 3rd shot at the last. He'll have that for birdie. It's not really been his day, Zane Scotland, not quite able to recapture the magic of his 65 on day 2. Craig Hinton now, a real test of nerve for him on 17. The 210-yard par 3. Co-leader now with Scott Campbell. Oh, that's a terrific response from Hinton to the disappointment of that 3 putt at the previous hole. He'll have that for birdie. Well played. Here's Herity, 2 under for the day, for eagle at the last. He's left it short. He'll have that for birdie. Dropped shots at 5 and 15 look as though they could cost him dear today. Lee Caulfield now for birdie at 17. 10 under, remember. No. Just the one birdie on his way home at 11 for Caulfield. The rest in regulation. That's not quite good enough. And here's Herity holding his birdie putt and holding it confidently. Finishing with a 69. 9 under par for 3 rounds. 4 birdies in the last 5 holes. That's brilliant. Left it a little bit late though. Here's Hinton now. Oh yes. Tremendous stuff from Hinton. Real character from him. The birdie putt for him at 17 after the dropped shot at 16. He leads by a shot now. Zane Scotland for par at the last. He gets it. 207 for him. Rounds of 72, 65 and 70. Finishing with 3 successive pars. He had 4 birdies at 6 holes at one stage coming home. Dropped shots at 2 and 3, stalling his momentum. Craig Hinton now needs a par for victory on this last hole. This is 3rd shot. Oh, well done. Really well done. Acknowledges the gallery. Remember, he's dropped shots here in the previous 2 rounds. That'll be a real settler for him. Lee Caulfield now. His 3rd shot at the last. Can he finish with a flourish? Well, he'll have that now for birdie. Luke Joy looking on with Zane Scotland. And they're watching Craig Hinton. Birdie putt for him to win. But you'd say he just needs to get it close. Par will be good enough. And he's got it close. That's okay. He's just got that tap in now for victory. Lee Caulfield with his birdie putt though. Oh, goodness me. That really sums up the end to Lee Caulfield's round. Home in 35. He needed more than 7 successive pars to finish. Still a great week's work. 68, 68 and 70 for him. Now Craig Hinton taps in for the victory. Well played. Tremendous stuff from Hinton. Remember, he won in Johannesburg in June, and now he has won in Abu Dhabi in September. Great victory for Hinton. Fully deserved. So that's how it finished. Scott Campbell took the clubhouse lead with a fantastic round of golf, a 7 under 65, but it wasn't good enough to force a playoff, as it was his fellow countryman Craig Hinton who took the honours at the Yas Links Golf Club.
Trying to think about the first 2 days, played really well. Just keep doing the same stuff and give myself a chance going into the sort of last 3-4 holes. I looked at the leaderboard driving up to the green, saw that I needed to make a birdie on the last 2. So it was nice to get it done early on and have a little bit of a cushion coming in the last.
In 2014, we launched the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. Firstly, in the amateur division, in first place from Saudi Arabia, Othman Al-Mullah. And in the professional division, in first place from Morocco, Yunus El Hassani. And now to the overall prizes. The leading amateur this week with scores of 68, 72, 70 for a total of 210, 6 under par, from the Netherlands, Pierre Junior Villar. And the 2016 ASCORP Golf Citizen Abu Dhabi Open champion with scores of 66, 68, 69 for a total of 203, 13 under par, from England, Craig Hinton.
So that's a wrap on this edition, where Craig Hinton held his own to lift his 2nd trophy on the MENA Golf Tour. Until we meet again, goodbye from Yas.